Hey guys, what's up? It's Riot. We have a new Fortnite season. Let's talk about it. So, one of the first things I really want to talk about, honestly, is ranked and what's it called? I just want to say, I honestly think they did a phenomenal job with ranked this season. I feel like the loophole isn't really that OP. Like to me, there isn't like a weapon that stands out that everybody's just spamming or everybody's just using just to get a win this then the third. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they did a really good job with the loophole this season and ranked. I feel like even like ranking up and ranking down seems to be pretty fair for the most part. Uh Honestly, I would probably say that it's harder to rank up in squads this season more than anything. It's probably harder to rank up in squads and to rank up like in trios. I feel like it's a lot easier to rank up once you're in duos or solos. But overall, I feel like it's pretty fair. I feel like it's pretty fun to actually rank up. My only honest nitpick with it is once you get done grinding to Unreal, there really isn't much else left to do. So, honest to God, I would probably no. I say this without knowing if Epic will actually do it. But one thing I honestly think that they should do is I think they should sit here and try to make maybe a Unreal tier skin just for the simple fact that it would be really good. Even if the skin looks ugly, like even if it's just like a reskin of an old skin or whatever, okay? At least it would be something. You know what I mean? Something to show, A, there's a reward for grinding all the way here, you know? I just feel like overall, Epic is really lacking in a reason to actually grind there. So, with all that being said, I feel like they should definitely try to maybe reskin one of the older skins just to sit here just to give it a new look, even as something as stupid as another version of the Renegade Raider, or maybe another version of the Arctic Assassin, or maybe I don't know, another version of the superhero skin, or maybe another Dark Bomber version. Either way, I feel like if we were to sit here and if we were to get one of those skins, even if it was a reskin, okay, just for grinding to Unreal, I feel like it would. I feel like people would have more incentive to actually do it. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe grinding to Elite should get you maybe a wrap. Maybe grinding and then grinding the champion should get you, I don't know, a special glider. And then after grinding the champion and all the way to Unreal, you should finally get a skin that should sit here and that should allow you to show everybody, A, I made it to Unreal, I grinded all these hours, this, then the third. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about today is I did want to talk about the shotguns. And I wanted to talk about mainly how I feel like they do pretty consistent or pretty good damage at bare minimum. The new shotgun that's supposed to be like the pump, in my honest opinion, hits very hard, very consistently. Okay, it doesn't hit, maybe as strong as, the old pump did. It doesn't hit as hard as, the heavy shotgun did. But, but, it still hits really hard, really consistently. I constantly find myself getting 50 tags, 40 tags from a good bit away, and then, 100 tags every time I'm up close. I feel like for the most part, they did a really good job with the damage this season on shotguns. I feel like they're strong but not overpowered, and honestly, I feel like it makes for a really good fight. At least in my opinion, I feel like they did a really good job with the shotguns this season. The only thing I would really have to say about it is I don't like the animation. I feel like it pulls out slower, but I don't know. Maybe that's their intention. I mean, we saw what they did with the movement, so maybe it was their intention to slow down the game a little bit, but who knows? It's just my personal nitpick. And the other shotgun I wanted to talk about is I did want to talk about the auto shotgun, just because I feel like the auto shotgun at first I felt like was a bit overpowered, but as I've played with it a little more, I realize it's really not that hard to counter. It's mainly a really big pain in the ass once you sit here and once somebody gets in your box and starts spraying you with it. And especially if they phase through everything, yeah, you have no choice but to either one pump them or pray to God they miss their shots. But other than that, I feel like the shotguns this season are really well done. I feel like they're not overpowered. They aren't underpowered at all whatsoever. I feel like they're like just right in the middle, you know. I feel like they have a really good sense of we do damage, but we don't do too much damage. And honest to God, I feel like that was honestly amazing and honestly one of the things I was most worried about this season, because I was worried about them not sitting here and not making a shotgun good enough, and I thought we were going to have a really underpowered shotgun, and I was kind of scared for that, but thank God that's not the case. So now we're here and now we're actually having fun with it. One of the other things I really wanted to talk about was I did want to talk about building and editing this season. I feel like building might have had a bit of a delay on it. I don't know, but I noticed that whenever I'm in creative or whenever I'm, building in game, I feel like there's a good bit of delay from when I press my button to when I actually sit here and when the build actually goes up. There will be times where I press my button, it shows I pressed it, like it shows I switched to it. Like I'll like if I press my trigger right here and I go to wall, it'll build the wall, but then sometimes I'll press it and it shows that there's a wall there in the blueprint, but it won't actually build it. And at first, maybe I thought maybe it was like just the controller or something. No, that's not the case. And yeah, it's been doing it with this controller too. So yep. And by the way, new video on this controller coming out soon. Promise. Just give me a couple minutes. Overall, though, I feel like building and editing this season is mad smooth for the most part. Especially editing. I don't know what it is, but I've noticed that me and a lot of other people have noticed that editing has definitely been smoother this season. Like, I feel like editing activates so much quicker and so much faster without us even needing it to. So, without further ado, I did want to sit here and point that out just for the simple fact that, building and editing is mad essential when it comes to Fortnite. So, honestly, I just feel like they did a pretty decent job with it. The only thing I want them to do is I want them to stop with this building delay that's going on. I don't know what's going on with that. But other than that, I did want to bring it up, and I did want to sit here and I did want to talk about that. Now we are going to talk about the giant elephant in the room, the movement. Okay, so I've noticed that the movement, when I first started playing with it, I have a bunch of clips, but I noticed at first that it was so much slower, but it did allow you to build so much more just because you're moving that much slower. And as much as people complained about it, as much as I complained about it, because I complained about it a lot, as much as I complained about it and the community may have complained about it, it did somehow help some people because it did slow down the game a little bit. Which, like I said, I think that may have been Epic's intention from the start. I feel like this season was about slowing down the game a bit, but obviously with people complaining, hey yo, the movement's like messy, the movement feels weird, the movement just isn't going that fast, like, obviously they had to revert back to it. But thing is, now the new movement that they have in game, the updated version that we got maybe like 2 days ago, I feel like this movement is actually perfect. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I prefer this current movement we have right now over the movement we had like previous seasons. Just because, in my honest, no, the animations are butt cheeks, okay? The animations, honest to God, do not belong there. They look like mobile game movements. That's what they look like. But, hear me out, okay? With this new movement that we have, I feel like going side to side is so much easier. I feel like, trying to do side jumps is so much easier. I feel like sprinting is so much smoother. I feel like, sliding, dodging is a lot smoother. and I feel like overall it's just very good movement in general. Another thing to bring up is I did want to sit here and I did want to talk about ARs and SMGs and the new augments in, you know, the perks that you could add to your gun. I just wanted to say overall I don't have a real big issue with them. The only problem I really do have with them is whenever I get a shotgun with a downside on it, just because I like the old aim of aiming with shotguns. I think that's just more natural, especially when it's a third person shooter. But I don't know, maybe I'm the only one here talking about that. Maybe I'm the only one who feels like that. But who knows? Please comment what you prefer. Comment if you prefer like the old way of aiming down sights with your shotgun, or if you prefer having an AR, or if you prefer having a sight on your shotgun so you could actually see, where the bullet goes and everything. I personally prefer the old way, but I'm an old head. I'm a boomer, if you guys can tell. Go ahead and tell me what you prefer. Do you prefer the old way of aiming, or do you prefer the new way of aiming? Please comment down below. And the last and final thing I wanted to talk about is just the overall fun of this season and the general interest is, I'm going to be honest with you, it might be at a good bit high. Like, I know for a fact a lot of people are going to be complaining. I know for a fact that a lot of people probably dropped it as soon as the OG season got done, and they were like, yeah, no, I don't want to play it no more. That, you know what, to each his own. At the end of the day, you can't really force anybody to do what they don't want to do. But what I do want to say is that I feel like at the end of the day, this game is pretty fun. And not to mention, okay, as much, even though there's really no incentive to grind ranked or anything, I'm gonna be honest with you, grinding ranked is still pretty fun. Granted, yeah, we all hate getting third party. Yeah, we all hate it when we get that one sweat in our game that's absolutely destroying their keyboard just to get a clip on us. Yeah, we all hate it when somebody sits here and takes our wall first try. But at the end of the day, are we going to drop the game? A good portion of y'all don't. I sure as hell don't. I get mad at it and I still don't drop the game. But at the end of the day, I feel like overall, it's pretty fun this season. The movement is pretty fun. The new shockwave nades are pretty fun. Even the new grappler that they have is pretty fun. Granted, it's stiff as hell and it's hard to move in it, but once you do learn how to move in it, it's pretty fun to use. It's pretty fun to use the riot shield too. I'm gonna be honest, like, as annoying as it is, as annoying as I hate it when people use it against me, I still find fun with it whenever I sit here and whenever I use it, okay? So, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Epic did an overall good job with this season, and I feel like this season is just generally pretty fun and pretty entertaining to play. Honestly, it's just my opinion, but if you have a different opinion, go ahead and comment that down below. And without further ado, I'm Riot, and stick around for more content.